21 Rockstar families, and welcome to our weekly VODCAST. It's so great to see all of you for this first week of March. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Mr. Reichard, there's a huge snowstorm on the way, but I'm going to send out the VODCAST anyway, and I'm going to include a ton of different strategies that students can use this week, more so than I normally do, in case that we get all of the snow that they're actually calling for. So I do have a lot of announcements, a lot of great things coming up in the school that I want to pass along. First of all, our rock star of the week for this past week was Michael Hammond. Michael's greetings have gone, he has taken the challenge to take his greetings up to the next step, like we've been working hard so far in Academy time. More so than just saying, hey, how are you today? Or how has your day been so far? He has literally stopped from a group of friends that he's been in to talk to different staff members throughout the building and have a genuine conversation with them. So I'm so very proud of him, and that is why he is the rock star of the week for this week. Interims will be sent home on Friday. You'll be receiving a Barrett Academy interim and a Stafford County Public Schools interim. The DARE basketball fundraiser is scheduled for March 14th. It's in the evening, and I'll be sending home more information as soon as I find out the exact time from Deputy Scoggins and the location. But this is a great way for the DARE program to make funds so that they can continue this program in the future for future 5th graders. So I hope to see you guys there. I'll be there, and that is March 14th. The Literacy Explosion, a lot of the rock stars have signed up for that. That is on Saturday, March 15th. The day after the DARE fundraising basketball game. It's on a Saturday. It's in the morning. I'll be sending home more information this week to give you some more updates about that particular event. The rock stars are going to be working in class all this week and next week to make their product based upon a book that they read, so that they'll have that product ready to present at the Literacy Explosion. Our writing SOLs, big reminder, are scheduled for March 18th and 20th. And to be quite honest, I do not think, even if we have significant time off for snow, that they're going to be pushed back again. They've already been pushed back once. I think that these are the dates, period. Please try to make sure that your rock star does not have an appointment scheduled for these days. If they're sick, I totally understand that. But it's very important that they're here for each of these days. March 18th and 20th, we'll be taking the writing SOL. I'm so excited. I know that the rock stars are going to do amazing, but that is coming up faster than you can believe. Our next Barrett Academy Family Night is scheduled for March 20th, so that's the second day of our SOL. That evening we're going to have an Academy Night. Stay tuned. I'll be sending home an RSVP paper soon so that you can sign up for that. We'll have another potluck. We have so many things we want to cover because we missed our winter family night due to snow. You probably heard a lot about the Booster-thon. I sent papers home in a Friday folder the other Friday. All of the classrooms across the school are decorating their doors to the theme of Camp High Five. And basically what the Booster-thon is it's a gigantic fundraiser that the PTO is putting on for technology in our school. And it's been so successful in other schools throughout the county. They've raised anywhere between $10,000 and $12,000 for technology in their school, which will help to buy us smart boards and projectors and all of these iPads, laptops, things that we really need in the classroom to help our students come into this 21st century world. A couple of dates for that, and I know with the snow this may be disrupted, but we'll be having a huge school-wide pep rally on Tuesday at 2 o'clock to kind of get the students excited. And each day for 15 minutes during their specials time, they're going to have what they call a huddle. So the students are going to come together, and it's just kind of like a little pep rally, and they can take donations. They can accept donations, pledges, from anyone, and it's all done online. It was sent home on that form that I sent home in the Friday folder, and more information will be sent home this week. And those pledges will go towards per lap that they run at the Fun Run, which is on March 13th at 12:45. I think there are parents allowed to come to that. More information will be coming this week home to let you know about that if you would like to come and watch the Fun Run. All of the pledges are due on March 20th. So it's a really cool event. It's school-wide. It's to raise money for technology. It's going to be a week-long event to get the kids really excited for the Fun Run and to raise pledges from family, friends, neighbors, whoever they can think of. So more information will be coming home about the Fun Run very soon. one final announcement before I turn you away to the strategy session for the week. Tomorrow, or whenever we come back from snow, if we do get the snow, are our Grammarys. I have everything set up in the classroom. We're combing through the albums, trying to find the awards for the best lead, the best overall album, the best up-and-coming artist. And they are amazing, Rockstar families, I have to tell you. Mrs. Biddle, our writing coach at school, has already combed through all of them and chosen her selections, and she was absolutely amazed at the descriptive vocabulary, the amazing hooks and leads. I'm just so excited and so pleased with the product that they put on. I am asking that either tomorrow or whenever we come back, our first day back from snow, if we do get that snow, that your Rockstar wear their world-famous Room 21 Reichard Rockstar shirt, which, because the entire classroom has been decked out for the Grammarys, and I'll be posting pictures on our class website so that you can see who won in each of the categories. And it's going to be a ton of fun. I hope that the rock stars are as excited as I am, because it is going to be a blast. Now, Rockstar families, I'm going to turn you over to the strategy session. Like I said, I'm going to put a bunch of extended things in here this week, just in case we get the snow that they're calling for. That way your rock star can stay occupied during the snow event if we do have it. So, I'll see you on the other end. Hope everything... Okay, Room 21 Rockstar family, so the first thing that I want to start us off with this week is a little quick perimeter review. We're actually going to continue finding the perimeter of irregular figures, kind of like the one that you see right now on the screen, and then we're going to move on to finding the area of squares, rectangles, triangles, parallelograms, trapezoids. There's so much to learn with perimeter and area, but I thought it would be cool to start off with a quick little video that kind of sums up what is perimeter.
Now that we learned how to measure in centimeters and meters, and we talked about inches and feet. That's right. Now we're gonna talk about with perimeter. You have to measure each side, add them up, and we find perimeter, perimeter. That's perimeter, perimeter, perimeter. That's perimeter. With perimeter, you have to measure each side, add them up, and we find perimeter, perimeter. That's perimeter, perimeter, perimeter. That's perimeter. With perimeter, you have to measure each side, add them up, and we find perimeter, perimeter. That's perimeter, perimeter, perimeter. That's perimeter. With perimeter, you have to measure each side one at a time. Write them down, add them up, and what do you find? Perimeter. That's perimeter, perimeter, perimeter. That's perimeter. With perimeter, you have to measure each side one at a time. Write them down, add them up, and what do you find? Perimeter. That's perimeter, perimeter, perimeter. That's perimeter. With perimeter, you have to measure each side, add them up, and we find perimeter, perimeter. That's perimeter, perimeter, perimeter. That's perimeter. With perimeter, you have to measure each side, add them up, and we find perimeter, perimeter. That's perimeter, perimeter, perimeter. That's perimeter.
Okay, Room 21 Rockstar families, now I'm going to take us over to a little bit, let me turn that off really quickly, to a little bit of perimeter practice. So, the figure in front of you shows a garden. Say that I'm planting a garden. Here it is right in front of you. And I need to put some fence around it because I do not want the wild animals to get in and eat what I have planted. So I'm going to Home Depot, I'm going to buy some fence, but before I head out to Home Depot, I have to figure out, how much fence do I need? I don't just want to go and buy some fence and guess. So I need to decide how much fence will I need to go around the outside of my garden. The perimeter is finding the distance around the outside. We have to add up all of the sides, just like the video said. So here's my garden, there are my plants inside. So what we are actually kind of moving on to now is finding unknown side lengths. And we started this in class last week, and it was pretty challenging at first, but the rock stars are getting the hang of it. And I think with a little bit more practice, this will only help them. So I'm going to label this in feet with the little feet symbol rather than the abbreviation. So I'm going to say that this side is 2 feet. Okay, I'm going to say that this side is 4 feet. I'm going to say that this side is 3 feet. And I'm only going to tell you one more side, and that's going to be this one right here, which I'm calling 3 feet. Now, obviously, these are not real measurements, but it's just to help us in finding the perimeter of the total figure. So I have this side that is unknown, and I have this side that's unknown. So I'm actually going to flip over to the highlighter real quick, because what we did last week is, if we use our geometric vocabulary, what we've been talking about in class, we can see sides that are parallel. So if I need to figure out this side length right here, and I don't want to take the time to actually measure it, I'm going to look for sides that are parallel to this side. So one side that I see that's parallel is right here, and the only other one that's parallel, like railroad tracks, they're never going to touch or intersect, is this one here. So if I take these two and bring them together, say that I take this one, drag it over here, I take this 3-foot side, drag it over here, and I add those together, I get the length of that side, and that side length, guys, is actually what? Yeah, it's 7 feet. Okay, because I took 4 plus 3. I took these sides and moved them over. So technically, I could actually save myself some time if I was measuring the outside of the garden and, you know, not have to measure that side. Now, if I look at this side length over here, once again, I'm going to look for sides that are parallel to that side. Here I see 2 feet, and here I see 3 feet. These sides are run parallel to this side because they're never going to intersect. Okay, so if I take 2 and 3, that means that this side is 5 feet. And then to find the perimeter, you add up all of the sides. Now, we were working on our number sense last week. You know, what can we do to find all those sides? Well, we could find combinations of 10, which will definitely help us find numbers that are friendly to work with, add them together to find the perimeter. So if Rockstars, if you come in with the perimeter, P equals what? I am interested in knowing what exactly that equals. So go ahead and figure that out. And then I have one more for you, which is right down below here. Let me actually go ahead and pause your screen, guys, if you need to figure out the perimeter for that one. I'm going to erase everything. And I have one more. Now, this figure is a little bit larger, and that is why I'm going to make the screen just a little smaller so that it'll fit fully for us. Let's say right about here, okay? Now, let's say that maybe this is a swimming pool, okay? Up here we have the adult end, down here we have the shallow end where the kids can swim. And we need to put some fence around the swimming pool that we're putting in because we don't want anyone or any creatures just to crawl into the swimming pool. So what I'm going to do once again is provide a few of the lengths. This time the Rockstars have to find all of the lengths, the missing lengths, and then find the perimeter. So once again, P is going to equal something, but I'm not going to reveal all of the side lengths this time around. So if this side length is 3 feet, okay, I'm also going to tell you that this side is 1 foot. This entire side is 3 feet. And this side is 1 foot. Now, the only area that you do not have to show me would include this. This is just the line in the swimming pool that tells us, you know, shallow to the adult end. Now, you should be able to find all of the other side lengths and the perimeter. If you bring that in, you can get yourself one house point as well. Now, I'm going to turn this over to the web and show you a couple of resources that I have online here, a couple of other ways to continue practicing perimeter in the home. And those would include, I'm actually going to take us back a couple pages to the Kate Waller Barrett Elementary School webpage, to our Class Fusion page. And starting up at the top here, if you come on down, you'll see what we're doing this week. I have one other area where your child can practice perimeter in the home. And I'm just thinking right now, you know, what are some things you can do with perimeter that aren't on a study video that you can just incorporate into your daily routine? And I'm thinking right now, you know, if you go to the kitchen floor and the tile, you could practice, you know, you could just tape off or tell your child to find the perimeter and just units around a certain area if you have tile there, or in the bathroom. You could take Legos, if you have some Legos at home, line them up and ask them to count the dots around the outside to figure out what the perimeter of a figure is that they create. So those are some just applications that you can use in the home. Now, one other area that I do want to show you, and I want to remind you that This is just practice, not required whatsoever. I do want you just kind of to ignore the directions with area. We're not going to venture into that yet, especially if we get snow. We'll be getting to area very soon in class. There's a lot of different formulas for different figures. But once again, these give us some perimeter, some side lengths, and you have to figure out the missing side lengths and then find the total perimeter. So if you want to do each of these rock stars, you can get yourself one extra house point for each of these. And I am going to ask you maybe to sketch out each of these figures on a sheet of paper, because I'm really interested in seeing if you can find that unknown side length, which is really, really important, or multiple unknown side lengths. And one thing that you definitely want to do, rock stars, as you're going through and figuring this out is make sure that every side length is accounted for. You know, this figure right here, I see that this side is unlabeled, but I also see that this side is unlabeled. This 2 1/10 centimeters for this little chunk here. This here is not labeled. Remember, perimeter has to go, you're power walking around the entire outside of a figure. So make sure every side length is accounted for before you do these. If you bring it in, just draw the figure on a sheet of paper, show me each of the labeled areas, and find the perimeter. You can get 1 house point for each of those problems. Now, let me erase the screen and take us back to the Kate Waller Barrett webpage. A couple of other resources I just want to show you this week. This would be a great snow challenge, especially if we have the snow that they're calling for. Under the Great Writing Challenge of the Week, we have a prompt. You are on your way to school. As you open the door, you find a note which asks you to complete a challenge. Explain what the note says and how you completed the challenge. So the recommendations here for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are once again just recommendations. You could just have your child sit down and practice writing this prompt totally on their own. If you want to make it simulated more like the SOL that we'll be taking on March 20th, you could just have them do their planning on a sheet of paper and type it right into the computer. Do the editing, the revising, and the publishing all on the Word document screen. That would make it more authentically like the writing SOL will be. So that would be excellent practice if you would like to do that. If your rock star brings this in, they can get 5 house points for their house. And let me tell you, the house race is tight, as the rock stars can tell you. And we have some exciting things coming up for the house that has the most points at the end of the third quarter. So encourage your child to work on that. We've switched over now from social studies to science. And one area, you know, the one major area that you can work on at home is once again SOL Pass. And if you click SOL Pass and you come to elementary school and you come to Science 4.5, you can find a ton of resources that you can use at home. And the area that you guys want to go for is actually 5.4, which is matter. Okay, there is a study guide here. There are release test items that practice what the SOL has on them, and there are a ton of games: solid, liquid, gas, changing states. It's just an amazing resource for your child to use at home to reinforce what we're learning in the classroom. I will tell you that with science, the rock stars are really doing one day of kind of learning concepts in the classroom, and the next day they actually have a lab where they're experimenting and testing out those concepts and seeing if they're actually true. So there's a ton of opportunity for the scientific investigation grade in this unit that you see on the report card. So I just wanted to alert you to that as well. So SOL Pass, amazing resource. And if you look on the Kate Waller Barrett webpage, if you're unable to get into this, I have the username and password listed. Barrett has a subscription to it, which is awesome. Because it relies directly on the Virginia SOL. So the username is Barrett1 and the password is Tigers. One other resource that I just want to point you guys to this week is a drawing conclusions. And reading, the rock stars are really working on drawing conclusions, and they've been doing an amazing job of it so far. If you actually look under class news once again, this is another one of those areas where it kind of explains what the reading comprehension skill is. It gives a short little passage, and it allows your child to kind of practice drawing conclusions with that particular passage. So it's really cool, and there's some other resources here if you go ahead and click on them as well that I thought were pretty awesome. And it's just a great way to practice that reading skill at home. One other way that you could do that is, as your child is reading their 20 to 30 minutes every night, you could just ask them, based on everything that you read today, what's one thing you can tell me that the author didn't tell you that you're kind of thinking in your mind? Maybe about the characters, or maybe about the setting, or maybe some other element. What's one other thing that you can tell me? The rock stars have been doing an amazing job. Like I said, the Grammys are currently being corrected, and those will be held on Monday or the first day that we return based upon the forecast. So it's going to be an amazing event. I'll be posting pictures and the winners of each of the categories here on our Class Fusion page. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can either direct them to here or you can just shoot me an email or call me at any time. And one other area I just want to take you to real quick would include the Barrett Academy blog, which will most certainly be updated over the snow event. And it includes so many awesome pictures and different things that we have done throughout the year so far. With Barrett Academy. So you can go, and if you would like to, you can actually come down here to the right side and click follow. If you're a member of Google, you can actually follow the blog and you'll get updates whenever we update with posts and other things like that. Now I'm going to send you back over to Mr. Reichard. Okay, Rockstar families, I hope that those strategies were helpful. Let me know. Give me some feedback on them. Are you using them in the home? Are they working? Is it easy to implement them into your daily routine? Let me know. I love the feedback. One other announcement I forgot to pass by, and it's so exciting for the Academy and for everyone involved in the Academy, is the fact that Barrett Academy applied for the Mid-Atlantic Family Engagement Award a while back. We had some parents actually wrote letters for us, sent them in for our application process, and we were just named to the top 4 for that award. And we'll find out on March 14th if we actually are the grand prize winner, which will help us to bring in some money for the Academy so that we can take the scholars on trips, service opportunities, all of these amazing things. So we are so grateful to you, Rockstar families, for your help, support, your assistance, everything that you give us, and that you have just stuck with us during this first year of Barrett Academy. We're so very grateful, and I just wanted to pass that along because that's really amazing news for every single person involved. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope that it does not snow as much as it's supposed to. And I will see you next Sunday for the next edition of the VODCAST. In the meantime, you are the best families in Stafford County. Take care and stay